Ow. I seem to have hurt my thumb. Which is the topic of today's video, which is thumbnailing. You guys like that segue? I'm working on it. This episode is brought to you by Uyon. Thank you guys for sending me this Canvas 22 Plus. And you guys are great. And which is actually good because we're going to talk about thumbnailing. And it makes it easier for me to see the smaller image in such a wide screen. It's gonna make sense in a bit. And yeah, let's go. Let's get on with let's get on with the episode. Thumbnailing is a great way of seeing the bigger picture by creating smaller ones. It's very easy to get bogged down by details and forgetting the most important thing, the image as a whole. How often did you get carried away by focusing on things like hair? Over-rendering it to the point where it's too complicated compared to everything else. Wanna know why you should try doing this technique? Because some of you bite off more than you can chew. And drawing things that are bite-sized make it easier for you to chew. Tell me, how many drawings did you do that ended up in your whip pile because it was too daunting a task? Not a lot of people talk about it, but getting into a habit of not finishing anything can take a toll psychologically. How do I put this? It's like you're baking a cake, and every time you make it, you give up halfway through, not getting that sweet reward of eating that delicious cake. You won't look forward to making the next time you're gonna make it now, would you? So, why don't we dial it back, and instead of creating a cake, we create a cupcake instead? See where I'm getting at? Our cupcakes are thumbnails. Easier to bake a cupcake than create a cake, right? Not that you can bake a cake now, if you're capable, that is. You know what? If you can bake a delicious cake, you can skip this video right now and go watch some. Just kidding. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe. I want to see where this channel goes, you know? So Phil, how do I get started with this whole thumbnailing thing, you might ask? Well, it's easy, but there are some rules you need to follow. It's not a rule set in stone, but it's something I take into account whenever I do thumbnails. First, only use one brush type. Doesn't matter what type of brush it is, your goal is to put down the colors. That's it. Simplify it. Second, don't just make one cupcake. Make more. Not only will this give you options, it's also good practice. You'll be surprised about the things you learn along the way. And yep, that's it. I strongly believe that the more you draw something, the more you make mistakes. The more you make mistakes, the more you learn. And the more you learn, well, you get the picture. Now, the best thing about all of this is that you've got a lot of cupcakes to choose from. Just look at all of them delicious semi-finished morsels. All you need to do is refine them. Now the question is, what to refine? Oh, and another great thing about this method is you don't settle for the first drawing you make. I don't know if you've seen or watched a video I made about this subject matter, but I'm a strong proponent of creating multiple art before settling on the one I like. Your first draft is rarely the greatest. Most masterpieces you see from great masters like Leyendecker, Sargent, Rockwell, they all created multiple versions of a masterpiece before settling on the final draft. It's kind of cool. Try it. That's great though, but Phil, you might ask, can I do that with an existing image that I already made? You can actually, you can improve it. I'll show you what I mean. So let's apply the cupcake principle, aka the thumbnail principle, using the drawing that I made a couple of days ago, who is Tinkerbell. Huge fan of Tinkerbell. And let's turn her into a cupcake. So whenever I have a finished artwork like this, or whenever you have a finished artwork like this, sometimes I like to turn them into cupcakes and figure out ways to improve it. It's a great way to train your artistic eye and helps you see what's lacking in your art piece. Now I know you're a perfectionist. Artists are perfectionists by nature, so this is one way to achieve that. Even though there's no such thing as perfect, and it's probably gonna lead you to a never-ending pursuit of it. Consider this a cupcake added to your toolbar while you venture forth in pursuit of art. You're gonna need it. Like any item in your inventory, you shouldn't rely on it completely. It's just one of the many tools you discover and carry with you throughout your artistic career. The world is a complicated place, and is sometimes difficult to understand due to its nature. I might be speaking for myself here, but our brain isn't advanced enough to understand things like, say, how a computer sees things in ones and zeros. Oftentimes, when we draw something like, say, a tree right down to each of its leaf, it's gonna look bad. Not unless you're one of those ultra-realism artists who follow the photo right down to the pixel. Then of course, your art is gonna look real. Our brain is designed to see things as a mass of blobby colors. Why is that so hard to say? Blobby colors. Anyway, and our brain fills in the gap as to how it looks like. Try this. Try and look at things at the corner of your eye. Do you see things clearly? Or do you see things as amorphous or blobby, separated by their values and tones? This is how a cupcake sees the world. It sees things as they truly are, as simple blobby values, easily digestible to your brain. So think about it. Would you want your brain to eat a mediocre full-course meal, leaving you full but unsatisfied? Or would you rather have your brain eat a simple, well-cooked cupcake, delicious and small, but leaving you wanting more? I'm sorry, that sounded kind of pretentious, but yeah, try this technique. It's really, really good. Oftentimes I do this to all of my drawings. Like whenever I try to fix something, and if something doesn't look right, like there's just something about a drawing that doesn't work, I turn them into thumbnails, and it's easier for me to work with them because it's like it's easier to work on a tiny small piece of paper than working on a giant mural. You get what I mean? So if you have a drawing lying around that it doesn't seem to quite work, try turning it into thumbnails. It makes things easier for you because it's such a small work area that it's just faster. You save more time, and it just makes things much easier on you. Try it yourself. You won't be disappointed. Find an old drawing, fix it, turn them into thumbnails and paint over it, and yeah. After you're done fixing the colors and composition, all you need to do is blow it up and apply your fixes, and your drawing is gonna look much better. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you stuck here long enough, please consider commenting, and subscribing to this video. It would really help me out a lot, and I might make more of this if you guys like. And I stream over at Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and thank you so much to my wonderful patrons over at Patreon for making this episode possible. Without you guys, I will never be able to survive. And yeah, that's it for today's episode, and feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Make some cupcakes. Bye-bye. Did I mention this episode is brought to you by Huion? Please buy all their stuff. They're great. They're amazing. Love you guys. Mwah.